morning, everyone, and welcome to She Raises Studios podcast. My name is Hannah Liebus, and I will be your host today. And I am joined with the amazing Lisa R. Triggs. And you are in for a real treat. We're going to do some deep dive into who she is, who she serves, what she does, and all her amazing things. So, welcome.
Hello. Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I feel honored.
I feel honored. And we're going to talk about some really, really amazing things today. You are making some major ripple effects for women. So before we dive into exactly what that looks like, tell our audience a little bit about you.
Well, I have been married for 34 years. I have 2 adult children. Our daughter just got married in September, so that was exciting. I live in the country in Canada. And I am a former singer.
Ooh,
I have half of my voice degree.
Wow, I did not know you were a singer.
Yeah.
We should have had you sing yesterday. That would have been amazing. So you are dressed beautifully.
Thank you.
And you are wearing this beautiful crown. Can you tell us what that is a symbol for?
The tiara is a symbol of transformation. It's a representation of taking on your power, being in control. You know, just when you think of a queen, right? She's in control. She's postured. She knows what she wants. You know, it's the total representation, not only of a transformation that I went through, but that I hope that by what I do, that other women can go through or realize that they can, or realize that they have more control over their bodies, whatever, their lives, than they realize.
Now you are the menopause queen.
I am the menopause queen.
So tell me about that.
Well, I decided, my book is called The Menopause Mindshift, How I Unleashed My Inner Queen, and you can too. I decided to write my personal journey through this time of my life because it was a bit different. I've been navigating this time from perimenopause now to been postmenopause for about 7-8 years, for a total of almost 20 years. So I've learned a thing or two, been through a thing or two, researched a thing or two, and everything I talk about, I've either lived, experienced, or researched, you know, and I never suggest to anybody to stop what they're doing. What I'm always suggesting is change your perspective, because it was even my own experience when we get through this time of life. We're like, oh my God, this sucks so much, right?
I mean, yes.
That it's so awful. But, and it even was for myself, right? I suffered from more than 30, like 33 last time I counted, symptoms, the worst being depression. So I wanted to tell my story of how I brought myself back from that. You know, using things like mindset, how I shifted my mindset, shifted my perspective. And when I did that, stopped thinking about everything so negatively, appreciating my life, appreciating what I had in my life, who I had in my life, and things about me. So it was really an inner journey, but I was like, oh my God, other women need to know that they can do this too. And with the encouragement of my husband, actually, he said, you know, you got to do, yes, definitely, you go for it. You tell your story, because women need to know this, you know, because it was my own experience that so many women were struggling.
You now work with these women after going through what you have experienced, and you've shared your lived experiences. So when someone comes to you and says, I think I need some help, and this is a subject, you know, menopause, some women feel so uncomfortable talking about it, sharing that they're going through it. It's kind of like they feel ashamed, right?
Yeah.
So how do you talk to them and share like, hey, this is a safe zone. This is what I'm here for.
I try to really just have the conversation. I've written the book, journals, started a podcast. And then my next evolution is private paid community. And I'm working on a course, how to master menopause in 30 days, kind of thing. So what I try and say is, okay, let's lay it on the table. What's happening? What are you not liking? Right? okay, now how can we change that? And let's put a plan together to use thought process, use some of the techniques that have worked for me, meditation, are you moving your body? How are you eating? Because there are some basic things, there are some basic things that are, will improve our health in general, right?
For sure.
That we need to, it's unfortunate that as our bodies change and as we get older and our bodies change in this way, that we need to make those adjustments. What the heck does sugar have with your hormones? But there is a connection, medical connection, and we need to make those adjustments. And I find that everybody wants a quick fix.
They do.
They want the pill. They want right?
Yes.
And this just isn't one of those things. Even the expert of the moment, Dr. Mary Claire Haver, has said that, let's be clear, there is no cure for menopause.
What is one of the things when women are coming to you, what do you hear most? That when you talked about things that they don't like, what do you hear most?
A lot of times it's depression. I feel so terrible. And then there's intimacy issues, right? I've heard women say that they left their man because he was bugging her, which is sad.
But it's a real thing.
It is absolutely a real thing, right? Like I've even, through my own journey there, because I had a twist, a little bit with my husband, there were many times that we had the conversation, should we just go our separate ways? But for us anyway, we truly enjoy each other's company. So we work really hard, to make it work. But their big thing is intimacy issues. And then a lot of women, suffer from that depression. They're just fatigued. They just don't want to do anything.
So for women who are coming, I feel like some of them are, and I'll say myself included, hopeless.
Yeah.
We kind of wonder like, wow, how long is this going to, continue? And here's the thing that I've also heard over the years is that there were so many households, especially like in my age generation, where we weren't told what menopause was or what to expect and the shifts that it causes. And so it's kind of like a learning curve. And so what's one piece of advice that you could tell someone today who's going through it but doesn't even want to admit it? Because there's a lot of women out there who are just, they don't even want to say the word.
You got to be real. You got to be honest with yourself. I actually know now that I was in perimenopause for 10 years, but I didn't know that's what it was at the time. I did notice that I was gaining a few pounds each year. I was starting to feel a little more emotional and things like that. I would say go to your doctor for sure. Mm. Get the tests done because they can tell through your blood what stage you might be at. And also advocate for yourself. Don't let the doctor tell you it's nothing, it's in your head. Find yourself another doctor, get a second opinion, because you got to advocate for yourself. So that's the first thing. Advocate for yourself, but then also don't have your head in the clouds that what's going on with you might not be linked to this, because it just most likely is.
How many times when you were going through your journey, did someone tell you it was in your head?
I never went to the doctor. The only time I went to the doctor about it was when I went to her, and I guess I was lucky. The Canadian healthcare system is a bit different, right? Mm-hmm. Different than the U.S. But I went to her after crying for 3 months straight and said, okay, I want to go on hormone replacement therapy because I can't function. And then she said, well, I don't like putting people on it because, and this is 10 years ago, right? The longer you're on it, the harder it is to come off. And I said, I just want to give it, I want to give it a go. So I stayed on it for 2 years and then weaned myself off.
You are doing these incredible things for women. And I want to make sure that our viewers and listeners understand that there is hope, that there is, yes, what you're going through is real. It's not in your head. And you did share, advocating for yourself. Don't let someone tell you it's all in your head, because it's not.
No.
There are very real physical things, but also, how can we help you and other women who are listening to your story and reading your book, which you're very transparent in your book about your journey? How can other women align with you to either, one, because they need what you are sharing, or also to support your journey to spread more awareness and education behind it?
They can message me, reach out. I've recently put my WhatsApp number on my website, themenopausemindshift.com. Of course, all my socials, message me on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. They can also join. I have a free, private Facebook community that's for this. And I'm starting monthly master classes, where for free, anybody can come. And I want running it a bit different. It's not always me talking, right? I want to have the conversation. I want you to come in and share what's going on, and let's work through it. Let's talk through it. Let's put, kind of some things in place for you to try, and I run my podcast the same way. It's about you, your story, and, giving everyone else the opportunity to really go through what is really going on with them. And you have to kind of remember to kind of do a deep dive. Let's not be superficial about it, right? Don't be superficial about it. I had a friend recently who started having some neurological problems. And I said, could it be menopause related? And she's like, oh, no. But this same friend does still get hot flashes when she, eats sugar and stuff like that. So in my mind, I'm thinking, well, you're not completely done with menopause yet if these things are still happening. Right. So in my mind, of course, neurological things could happen. We lose our focus, whatever, you get dizzy, all kinds of things. There's just more things coming. Yes. Yeah. So there's a lot.
Is there one moment that you could share that defined why you chose to want to help other women?
It was the moment, my husband can attest to this, that I came out of my office and I said, I have been thinking about everything negatively. You, life. We know we're energetic beings. Right? We know we're energetic. Science tells us that, right? Because so I'm not just talking woo-woo stuff, there's neuroscience, everything, even behind meditation, all that kind of stuff. There's scientific stuff, right? We're made of energy. I was vibrating so low in a depressed state for years that's what was going out. That's what was coming back. So when I came out of my office and I said, I've been thinking about everything negative, you, my whole world. And when I changed that, it was like a switch, right? You have these pivotal moments. That was one. I need to be more grateful for what I have in you, my life, even little things we take for granted, right? And we even take relationships for granted, our spouses and all that kind of stuff, right? We could have easily gone our separate ways, right? But whenever we get to that point where we're like, okay, you know what? Then it's funny because something happens that brings us back together, because so I sit there and I ask the universe, God, higher power, whatever. And I say, okay, you got to help me out here. Like, what is my path? What am I supposed to do here?
I think you found it.
Yeah.
I think that
it was like a calling. I just felt that, I don't know. I didn't see anybody doing anything quite in this way. Yes, there's people that of course, medical doctors. Yes, there's people who do physical fitness. There are even mindset people, right? But not quite in this way that the angle, so to speak, in the direction, the path.
I would say experiential.
Yeah.
I think what separates you from some of the other individuals and organizations is that it's you're walking the walk.
Yeah.
And And you're not looking down at them, you're looking with them.
Yeah.
And you shared your own story, which takes a lot of courage. And you gave me a little insight even before we sat in these chairs. And I think that that's why women resonate so well with you and align and are able to open up. We all have to have this safe space. So you have provided one. So before we close out today, is there anything that you could tell a woman who's experiencing or going through this? What's the number one thing they need to do besides call you?
Advocate for yourself. It is actually go to the doctor. The blood test can tell, and know that you are not crazy. Right? We often, we think we're going crazy, because we're losing focus. We can't, we're waking up. We can't concentrate, focus was bad. I couldn't remember. I went and got CAT scans because I might have thought was my memory. I was losing, thought I might be, because of family history. My father died of brain cancer. My mother's had 2 tumors removed. So family history, I was like, okay. So I've had CAT scans, MRIs, just to make sure. So you're not going crazy. There are medical reasons. Make your doctor
be vigilant.
Be vigilant, yes. And if not that doctor, go to another doctor.
What if you could be a part of the biggest empowerment experience in history?
On February 22nd, 2026, we're taking over Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas for Empower Her Content Day, presented by Phoenix TV and She Rises Studios. It's a first-of-its-kind experience designed to change how leaders, entrepreneurs, and visionaries build their brands and connect with the world. So what is Empower Her Content Day? It's not your typical conference. It's a full-scale, immersive experience built for business owners, creators, leaders who are ready to elevate their visibility, grow their networks, and create a year's worth of marketing content all in one weekend. Inside Allegiant Stadium, attendees will step into a world of opportunity. Professional headshots and video reel stations, docuseries filming, TV and social media exposure, live workshops led by industry experts, celebrity influencer appearances, live activation booths where brands can sell, film, and connect, and powerful keynote speakers from around the world.
Empower Her Content Day at Allegiant Stadium on February 22nd, 2026. We'll see you there.
Now, a little birdie told me that we're going to be seeing you somewhere special in February.
Oh, yes.
And you are spreading your message in a much grander scale. Are you ready?
I'm really looking forward to that. That's a very exciting event to be part of. And that's the goal. This is where I really want to take it, is to be able to speak more about this, and it's not, the funny thing is I talk about my journey, but it's not about me. The tiara is not about me. It's actually about you, her, everyone else. It's about everyone else.
Can you imagine if every woman who is going through this wore a tiara that day?
Yeah. Oh, I would love that.
It would light up the entire room, right?
Yes.
So for those of you, it's not really a secret. She will be speaking on the main stage at Allegiant Stadium. And we're very excited to have you.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited.
Yeah, I think that you're going to open doors for a lot of women to feel safe to come through and really help them. So thank you for that. And you have experienced the amazing Lisa R. Triggs. And thank you for joining us today on She Rises Studios podcast. We will share how to connect with her, and stay tuned because there's a lot more coming from her direction.
Thank you.
Thank you all so much for joining another episode of She Rises Studios podcast. Please follow us online at She Rises Studios. You can also visit our website at www.sherisesstudios.com.